Hi and welcome to a day in the life of our homeschool. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought we'd give it a go. Sometimes people like them, sometimes they don't. So let me know down in the comments if you do and also what you'd like to see in them because I'm never sure. But it is kind of dark in here. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but that's because our day in the life of homeschool start the night before as I set out curriculum for the next day and try to set out activities for my little kids. I'm not always perfect about it, but everything runs much smoother when I do it that way. And just recently I started writing on our board over here. I'll show you, I'll flip the camera around and show you all these things in a minute. And I've started just this week actually. So this is day 3 that I've done it. Started writing on the whiteboard what we need to accomplish during group work that day. In my head, I always had the list, and in my planner, I'd write it. But sometimes I'd forget to look at my planner when we're actually doing group work because it gets a little crazy, especially with my little kids. And so having it on the board where I can keep track of it, my kids can keep track of it, has so far been really helpful. And then if I have any like little notes or things that I wanted to cover, I can put it up there and then we can all remember it. So that's something we've been doing. And then something else, so tomorrow's Wednesday, the day I'm gonna show you. And something about tomorrow that's different is 3 of my kids have piano in the morning. So they have it from 8:30 to 10. So like every half hour. So my husband kind of takes charge with that. So I usually get up at 6, do some scripture study, and then my kids get out of bed at 7 and they get their own breakfast. I'm telling you these things because these might not be things you'll actually see. Some of it because I go to work out while they're having breakfast, so usually I'm not around for it. And so they just get their own breakfast. They're very good at doing that. And I have options. They're not allowed to have cereal except on Sundays. And so everything else, like they just pick their own breakfast. And so they do that, do some of their chores and practice piano, except tomorrow because it's a piano lesson day. And then they'll start on their schoolwork. And so I have tomorrow is a lifting day for the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, I usually lift. So I'm gonna be doing some lifting tomorrow morning and then a walk. So lifting's usually 30 to 45 minutes sometimes. And then I'll walk for 30 minutes. So usually I'm getting done and everything by about 9 o'clock. If I'm getting like makeup and all that stuff for the day, it might be a little bit like 9:20, 9:30 or something. And so that's kind of what it looks like. But tomorrow we won't be able to do group work until after like 10 or 10:30 anyway, which has kind of been what we've been doing recently. We used to do it first thing, but it's just been easier to do it this way. We just kind of wait until a break in homeschool. So it's been more about 10 or 10:30. And some of my kids are already done with their individual subjects by that point. And so they just have group work. Some of them are still working on it. And so they finish after group work. So that's kind of how that part of our morning will flow. I'll see what I end up showing you. So while kids are switching back and forth with piano, they'll come back, work on some homeschool, and then we'll do group work once all of them are done with piano. And yeah, I think that was all I was gonna say. So that's kind of what our mornings look like. Tomorrow's a little bit crazier because of piano, but luckily it's not that far away. And then, I usually am working out in the morning. My husband kind of runs everything until I am done with all that stuff in the morning. And then I take over, or he'll still help a little bit with some of the individual subjects if my older kids still need help. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like, but I'm gonna flip you around, show you the group work stuff that's set out, show you the board, and then just quickly show you what I have set out for my little kids. All right, so this is group work subjects. So each of my kids, my 4 older kids, have a pile, and I usually just leave these out during the week, and then I'll switch out between science, which is this workbook, and geography. So they have their journals, their scriptures, and then this is their scripture notebook as well. And then for science, we're doing chemistry. And then they have their notebook, which, whoop, we're gonna lose it all, which has like their scripture schedule. So every day they have an assigned reading they're supposed to do, like by themselves. And so it has whatever that is. And so that's their stuff. Here's my pile with our read alouds, and then just my planner again, which I will reference sometimes at the end of the day. We have some meditation / breath work, and then the Pledge of Allegiance that we do. And then tomorrow we're doing chemistry. So chemistry is more involved. So I try to set it out and at least look at what we need. A lot of the stuff I won't pull out until tomorrow morning, just because people are still using this room. I did grab this from the basement, and I'm going to put it in the closet so my toddler doesn't find it, but we need hydrogen peroxide for tomorrow. And so I pulled that out. But in the morning, as you can see up here on the board, I put prep science so I don't forget. And so while my kids are running around to piano, I'll get all that stuff ready and set it out. And then I just have a list of everything that we're going to be doing. This is their journal question over here. And then I usually set some stuff out for my toddler and my 18-month-old, who is also a toddler, I guess, and to play with. So I put some kinetic sand out that we have. He likes this kinetic sand or Play-Doh, keep him occupied the longest. Most things don't keep him occupied for more than 2 seconds. And then these things he also played with today, so we'll see if he's content with them tomorrow, but my baby likes to play with them too. And so these are little flowers you can put together, and then some blocks. And then this is just a sensory bin that's empty and has some, well, it has some little tools in it. So he can put his kinetic sand in there, so it kind of contains it a little bit. And so that's what he has, but I can always pull out more things if he gets bored with that. So everything's set up, and we will see you in the morning. All right, I figured I would just do a quick check-in this morning before we start schoolwork and stuff. It is almost 9:30. I have started making my breakfast, so I'm gonna finish that. My husband is switching the last kids, and then he'll go back in 30 minutes to pick up my daughter from piano lessons. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna get breakfast. I've gotten all ready, did my workout. People have been working on schoolwork. Some of them are further along than others. And so we'll kind of see how that is going in them as everything progresses. So shooting for group work to start around 10 or 10:30, just kind of depending how everything turns out. And then after I ate breakfast, I'm gonna get all of our chemistry supplies together. So that's all ready to go. And I think that's all right now. My 7-year-old, she's almost 8, took my little kids downstairs to play for a few minutes while I get breakfast. And my 13-year-old is working on his math. So that's kind of where we're at so far this morning. All right, so we're about to start group work. This is my kids' take 2 of this because I didn't push the record button, so they get to hear it twice. And Becca is right here having snacks. She is dressed, which normally doesn't happen. I left her intentionally in her pajamas today, and my husband got her dressed because most of the time she doesn't get dressed throughout the day, or she doesn't get dressed till she goes down for a nap. So this is normally not what she looks like, but today she's ready, having some snacks, and then some activities for her there. We have kids sitting all over the place, eating snacks, because it's about 10 o'clock, just after 10 o'clock. And then Locke has poured some kinetic sand in there and is playing with some of the different toys there. So we're gonna get started on our group work, and then we'll move to the kitchen for chemistry, some of the messier elephant toothpaste. I don't know what that means, but that's what we're doing for chemistry today. Oh, Mark Rober does it. That's why I don't know, and they do. So, huge explosions. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we should take it outside. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. chemical change produces a new substance with different properties than it had before. Okay, so we're gonna watch, what? Play-Doh? Yeah. Where does he have Play-Doh from?
It's just triple kinetic sand.
Okay, Locke, don't mix the kinetic sand, buddy.
Here are 6 clues that can help you identify if a chemical change is taking place. The first clue of chemical change is bubbles. These tiny messengers can tell us that a gas is being produced. For example, however, bubbles do not always indicate a chemical change. You also see bubbles in boiling water, which is just water changing phases from a liquid to a gas.
Okay, so we have all of our science stuff set out. Well, at least most of it. The yeast is in the freezer and then water in the sink. So we're gonna get started and hope we don't blow anything up. My kids are hoping for an explosion and I am hoping, please no explosion. So we'll see what happens. We're fighting over who gets to do what. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Well.
Move it. Yeah.
There's much more.
Phew, didn't blow up.
Yeah, this is the home safe version, not the one that.
Well, yes, thank heavens.
Is that a phase change?
It's got heat.
There's bubbles. Yeah, you guys are supposed to fill it. You remember it said? So the bottle is warm, right? Whoop. Here we go, color number 2.
Ew, I don't like color number 2. Go.
Just stick the funnel in there, Mazer. In the beaker. Yep, hand me the... Okay, pick it up, guys. There we go. It just tipped over. What's happening, Becca? Are you laughing at that? Locke, what did you think, buddy? Did you like it? Can we see your head? What? Let me see your head. Not your toes. Yeah. He fell off the couch and whacked his head on the coffee table this morning, so it looks good. Can you turn it this way so I can see? Oh yeah, you still have food on your face too. Look at that, looking good. In 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay grabbed the prize. They became the first men to reach the summit of Everest. Although they came from very different places, they became trusted friends and partners. All right, we just finished group work. It's 11:20-ish, and so we're gonna do language arts with my older 2 kids, either me or my husband, I'm not sure who. And then I'll do it with my younger daughter as well, because she needs me to help read things. But we've been doing language arts with my older 2 kids together because they're on the same unit, like they're in the same book, working on the same lessons. And so my husband will go through their spelling words at the same time, read the sentences at the same time, and it just makes it much easier than us having to do it double. So I think he's gonna work with them. He's standing right here at the door. I thought he was still on a phone call, but it doesn't look like it. And I'm gonna work with my younger daughter, and we're gonna stay back here because he'll keep playing with his kinetic sand over here if we stay back here, even though I think he is sort of cleaning up. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do right now. So, okay, B, okay, R, go use the potty. Oh, okay. You can come put it in a bag. Do you need to go potty? No. Manti is finishing his language arts. He has some sentence challenges I'll read with him, but the rest of his language arts today is some pastels, which is one of the things I love about the Good and the Beautiful's language arts is the incorporation of art so that I don't have to do a separate curriculum. So this is supposed to be a tennis ball. There you go. So he's drawing it. Oh, you're going to read a book about tennis tomorrow? Got it. Oh, there's my alarm. And then I need to clean up this mess. There's kinetic sand all over the ground. It's kind of hard to tell, but I gotta clean up this mess over here. Okay, everything's basically been reset back here except Manti. He's still in the way. No, I'm just kidding. He's still working on his art project, but I switched out schoolwork already for tomorrow, cleaned up all this kinetic sand mess, erased the whiteboard. I'll write more stuff on it later tonight. And you're done. There you go. So I'm gonna go do sentences with him, and most people are almost done with their schoolwork, and it's close to 11:40 right now. So that's kind of where we are in the day. Are you eating? Is that yummy? We're just having some leftover pizza. Well, some of the kids are. Leftover sourdough pizza we made yesterday. You're having some too, huh? Is that yummy? He doesn't like the pepperonis, but he does like pepperoni if it's just straight out of the fridge, but he will not eat it once it's on the pizza. So there we are with that. So funny. So that's what we're doing right here is eating some lunch, huh? All right, so that's where we're gonna end this day in the life of our homeschool. It's lunchtime, and afternoon is very slow, quiet time for everyone. We just kind of sit down, relax, get a few things done, but quietly while the little kids nap, and then I'll start making dinner, which is sitting back here. It's just cheeseburger soup, and I took some sourdough out of the freezer to thaw out for that. But that's basically our normal day. The craziest part of the day is usually the morning when we're homeschooling. So I'm gonna sit down and grade some schoolwork while the little kids are eating lunch. Then I'll put them down for naps, and I'll have some lunch so that I'm not interrupted. And my husband just took our oldest son for Christmas. In his stocking, he got a gift card to a sushi place. And so my husband just took him to lunch to go there. So I'm here with the other 5 kids, and he took him to go to lunch for that. So that's fun for them. And yeah, that's basically the day. This is what our most typical days look like. We don't always have big chemistry experiments, but sometimes we do. And that's all I think we have to share with you today. And so if you enjoy these types of videos and seeing just kind of how we function in homeschool and just daily living, remember to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.